What's up, guys? This is Spectre from Spectacular, and today we're going to go into the gun vault. What's the worst thing you can possibly hear when you break into somebody's house in the dead of night? That sound. Sound of a shotgun loading. This is a, going back to action, Remington 870 Wingmaster that's been modified by me to be a home defense gun. You can see, got an 18-inch barrel, which is the legal length in California, and I think the United States, of having a shotgun barrel. It's got a magazine, a 2-round magazine extension tube on the end, and it's got the all terrible, crappy Black Hawk Knox Spec Ops Recoil-Reducing stock. Yeah, that name's a mouthful. So, today we're going to be talking about this gun, and its use basically is home defense, as most shotguns are. The barrel's not long enough to really be used as a pheasant gun. You could, but the spread's going to open up, you know, way before you want it to. You really need like a 20-inch, 22-inch barrel if you want to hunt duck or go trap shooting. So basically, the primary purpose of this shotgun is to kill people. As you can tell, it also has a 6-round side saddle, also by Knox, Black Hawk, excuse me, on the side, and it's got right here high power 15-round double-aught buck high brass home defense loads. Can you imagine 15 .33 caliber pellets hitting you at one time? It's devastating, and that's why most people today in the world use shotguns as home defense, and rightly so, because there's a lot of firepower just here. So this is a very heavy gun, about 4.5 pounds, fully loaded with the 6 rounds that I have on the side saddle. So with that though, you got to have a heavy gun if you're going to want to deal with any recoil regarding a 12 gauge. And that's actually originally why I bought this Knox Spec Op Recoil-Reducing stock, was because I wanted to have a little bit of the reduction of recoil, because let's face it, shooting these rounds is not fun. I mean, you have your number 7 birdshot and you go plink around with that, but when you start using high brass rounds, it really hurts after a while. Like 10 rounds for me, because I'm not a big guy. So I saw a lot of advertisements for this stock saying, oh, it reduces recoil by 80%, which it does on the shoulder. But quick operation of how this stock works is you've got 2 springs. There's one here and one here, and when you fire the gun, the recoil of course pushes it back, right? So what's going to happen is, you can see a gap there, is that this whole front of the gun is going to slide up this way, and the springs here and the springs here are going to absorb that recoil. And it does work on your shoulder, but what really gets me is that when this goes back, and when it goes up into here, and I have my cheek right here, it forces this thing into my cheek, with that 80% of the recoil that took away from the shoulder is now going into my face. And, it really actually feels like somebody's punching you in the face. I mean, if you can imagine shooting, having this in your face, basically is what I'm trying to tell you. This goes up, and, it helps if you pull that all the way back. This is a 6-point adjustable, by the way. But if you pull that all the way back, it's less, but then I'm tiny, so I can't reach the form. I mean, I can reach it, but it's not as comfortable for me. So, and when I put it on, we used blue Loctite, so it will probably never come off. I may have to take it to a gunsmith if it gets too bad. I mean, in a pinch situation of home defense, this is not really going to make a difference, but if I had to use this like every day in WRL or something, it would be terrible. I would hate myself, because it really does hurt. And when we go to our big shoot up in the forest, we'll show you exactly how that works. So more about the gun. Originally, it had a wood stock, as you can see by the fore end, was originally this color, standard shotgun stock. Turn it over for you. Safety's right here, right there, if you can see that. And it's got the fore end release lever right, if you can see that, right there. You push that down, and you can move that back and forth whenever you want to. Now, this gun has been with us for probably 15 years or so. So it has about, I would say, 500 to 1,000 shells through it, and it's still working fine. Everything's still stock. That kind of looks. I like how that looks. It's kind of faded a little bit. I think it looks cool. Cleaning a 12 gauge shotgun is really easy. I mean, because there's basically no parts. You just put the swab through there, push it out the side, and if you use good ammo, you know, it's not really going to shoot that dirty. This is probably the best home defense item that you can have as a shotgun. But of course, you got to be careful with over penetration and, you know, making sure your buckshot isn't going through your wall and killing a family member. If I had to change one thing about this gun, it would be the stock. I really hate this stock, but you know, I think this stock was $110, and it was $110 misspent. So if you're thinking about buying the Nox Recoil-Reducing stock, don't. I'm kind of turning this review of the 870 into a hatred speech about the Nox Spec Up stock. Excuse me. Shotguns are another great option for home defense because they're cheap. You can pick up a Mossberg 500 at Big 5 for $200. And I mean, a pump action shotgun is so reliable. It's like the revolver of the shotgun world. You know, I've never had this jam before. You know, they're never gonna break on you. I mean, if you probably use 500 rounds every day, it might break on you. The barrel will get kind of hot and probably warp. But, you know, they're just so reliable because they got so few moving parts. I didn't tell you how much. This is a 6-round magazine with the extension. It was originally 4 with the +2 gives you 6. That's why I have a 6 side saddle on here, so I have a whole magazine of reloads. So the sights on this one are basically non-existent. You have a front bead sight, and I'm going to try, without destroying my camera, show you the front sight. You know, it's not going to work. Here, let me go this way. Kind of show you what you see. There's a front bead right there, and you kind of got a groove in the back there. There we go. To kind of try and get you on target, but basically if the front bead is where you want the spread to go, it's going to go there. This is a non-rifled bore. It's a smooth bore. So you can shoot slugs, but they're not going to be as accurate as you would want them to be. So we're going to compare the Remington 870 to kind of the AR-15 of the shotgun world. There's just so many things you can do to it. Like, you know, the stock, the side saddle, the fore-end, the magazine extension tube. There's just really an endless supply. I know you could put ghost ring sights on this, and you could put, you know, a gazillion round magazine extension tube. There's a lot of things that you can do to make this rifle your own. Shotgun, excuse me. What I really want to do is Surefire sells a fore-end that has a flashlight on it, and I see a lot of police use those in my area, and they're really cool, but they're like $400 minus the cost of the flashlight. So, you know, I really want to get one of those, have a light on the front of the shotgun. But basically the moral of the story is there's just a lot of stuff that you can do to an 870 to personalize it. So we're going to talk about accuracy really quick, because with a shotgun, accuracy is kind of immaterial. I'm going to roll in some targets. This is 9.5 birdshot, really tiny. I think this was 3 rounds. If you're looking at the holes there, those were the sabots. Now, birdshot is interesting because if you're close enough, it could be very deadly because it basically just like a cheese shredder through you. But at long distances, probably more than 20 yards, you kind of make somebody mad. And here's another target. It's upside down. And this has some number 7 birdshot and also some cool home defense rounds that I'll show you in a home defense video, which are those holes, those big holes right there, which are 2 5/8 balls. They're 2 balls in a shotgun shell, as weird as that sounds. And, you know, they're going at 1,300 feet per second, and they're just insane. So you can tell because that hole is very clean. It's not a sabot. But, you know, point and shoot shotgun. You got to be careful because a lot of people think that if you have a shotgun, it's gonna fill a a room with lead. It's just gonna, you don't even have to aim it. You just go into somewhere and start squeezing a trigger, which is not true. I mean, you wouldn't have to aim as much as you would a pistol or a rifle. But as long as you have the bead within, let's say, within 10 yards, if you have the bead on something that you want to hit, it's going to hit it. After that, you can kind of dawdle around because the spread is going to spread out, for lack of a better term. As far as shotguns go, the shotgun, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I have used better shotguns. I mean, Benelli makes outstanding shotguns. But, you know, if you want to just go to Big 5, pick up something that you're going to have in your home underneath your bed. This is a great option. I'm going to give the Spec Ops Recoil-Reducing stock a negative 352 out of 0. So this just sucks. Don't buy it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Look for us next week. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe to Spectacle.